Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is a pleasure to be with you today and a pleasure to introduce you to Swarna Bhairavi, or Beth, who has a very special connection with Kala Bhairava, Swarna Bhairava, all the Bhairavas, and who Dr. Pillai has recently asked to provide you with a deeper understanding into this very special archetype and the way to fast track your goals. So today we're going to be all about a very practical workshop on how you can start using these teachings she's giving you today. And a little bit later, we'll talk to you about Kala Bhairava's birthday that is coming up and ways that you can participate there. So, Swarna Bhairavi, welcome.
Thank you, Jay Radha, and I am so excited to be here. Bhairava is very energetic today, and we're going to hear a little bit more about how you can work with him. And today you are also very fortunate because, again, you are going to learn how you can work with him and connect to him in a very, very direct way every single day. So, for most people, when time is lost, it's lost forever. But you have a different opportunity available to you. And it's because you're seeking to be in touch with Kala Bhairava, who is the manufacturer of time. He actually literally makes time, not only just for the earth, but also for the cosmos, all the planets, and also for the universe, the galaxy. So he's a very important person to get to know. And secondly, of course, and actually this is more important, is that you're in touch with Dr. Pillai. And it's so important to have Dr. Pillai's blessings in working with the archetypes because he's the one that invites them. People, normal people who aren't, people who are not involved in this program or involved with Dr. Pillai, they don't feel the archetypes as much as we have the opportunity to feel. So he's the one that really brings the power in the grace for us to work with this type of archetype. Okay, so who is Kala Bhairava? It's a very, very profound question, and I'm only going to talk even just, it will be just a slice of it, a very small slice of who he is. And he is, of course, Kala means the god of time. Ba grants material wealth and prosperity. Ra, elimination of negativity, pessimism, and self-doubt. And Va is perpetual growth, success, and evolution. And I just want to make sure, yeah, we've got our slides up. Okay, so he is, he also has an aspect that controls all the gold in the universe, not just the gold on the earth plane, the gold in the universe. And his name is Swarna Bhairava. So he's a person, he's a being. And if you take an interest in him, he will take an interest in you. You can make friends with him. And it's very beneficial, like I said, because you can get time on your side. You can actually change your time to have a good time. So there's so many things that he does that's connected, of course, to time. Everything that he does is connected to time. So he is in charge as I mentioned, all the time here on the earth. And he's also in charge of your past, your present, and your future, really, your life. He governs that. He's the governor of that. So if you want a beautiful destiny, he is the God to go to. And he's very, very easy to connect with. There's a popular podcaster in India. And the name of the channel is TRS Clips. And this podcaster happened to have a very unique, very powerful relationship with Kala Bhairava when he went to one of his shrines in Varanasi, India. And he says that, which I thought was really interesting because it's true, that is true in my life experience with him, is that he enters your life. When he enters your life, he propels you quickly, fast through all your karmas to your ultimate level of God realization, because that is his goal. His goal is this God realization. And he said something kind of interesting. He said, now that I'm in touch with Bhairava Everything in my life is moving so fast. Prosperity is coming faster than I ever could have imagined. New people are coming in, new opportunities. And he says, I'm partially overwhelmed and I partially feel very capable to deal with the speed. He said, if it had happened like even a year ago, I had so much self doubt about myself. And this thing, even this emotional thing that's very personal, he can change that. He can wipe that away. And this gentleman was also saying, I've parted ways with people who were not definitely beneficial for my future. So that has happened as well. He takes you to certain truths that your mind is pushing to the background. I thought that was really key because we're not always conscious of what's is good for us. Even though it enters our life and the door opens, it may not be the absolute thing that happens that's good for our lives. So he will be, he's a God of righteousness and a God of justice. So he's going to help you with that. He's also the God of space, your home, where you live. If you're looking for a new home, if if you want to beautify your home, he also has he loves, especially the Swarna or Kashmir Bhairava aspect of him, loves beauty and joy and comforts, that kind of thing. There was someone I know who was worshiping Kala Bhairava. I'm going to tell a little story here. And she got put in a tight spot. And that is, she had two children. And she suddenly had 3 days to move herself and her children out of the house she was living in. And it so happened that she met someone, an acquaintance, and that person knew someone who knew a beautiful luxury apartment that her parents had owned. And that they were looking for someone to come and stay in that apartment because, they didn't want to leave it empty, but they weren't ready to sell it. And it was a gorgeous space, enough room for herself and her two children. And it was complete luxury. And the beautiful thing is, the price was completely right for her. It was doable. So this is what I mean about he is the God of space. He also has done this for me 2 or 3 times in the past several years. He's kind of put me someplace that is absolutely beautiful, more beautiful than I ever could have imagined. And it wasn't even something I necessarily prayed for, but he takes care of the people who worship him. So he can also take you into timelessness, and we'll go to the next slide here. Timelessness is a big word, but it really means that time goes away. It's kind of like when you're sleeping and you wake up in the morning and you don't know what happened with those hours that you spent sleeping, but it's way better than that. So in timelessness, you access a very deep, quiet part of your mind. That's really all it means. The most quiet part of your mind, the most still part of your mind. And of course, that is the pineal gland. So it means that you get into access with that. He will move you into timelessness. So that's a really beautiful thing that Kala Bhairava does for us so that we can experience it. It helps you bypass all that traffic. It makes you very still, as I mentioned. And you're not thinking about, what am I going to eat for dinner? Did I put that on my shopping list, that thing I wanted? Or what should I really say to my friend and that friend or the family member I need to talk to? All of that traffic is gone. And you just access a very quiet place. There, time stops. And a really cool thing happens when that happens. It just occurs that you manifest. So when you enter into the timeless place, you can manifest. And sometimes fast, sometimes, when I say fast, I mean instantaneously. Sometimes it may take a day or a few days. You don't even have to try. It just happens. And this is one of the sutras in the Shiva Sutras about Bhairava, is that it doesn't even matter how much you meditate. It doesn't even matter how much, work you've put into your spiritual practice. If you have the grace and the blessing, he will bring the energy up and you will go into that place. You will be able to go into enlightenment in a split second, in a femtosecond. So that's something about Kala Bhairava. And he does everything very effortlessly and very subtly. You will feel him very much because he's very active here in the earth plane right now, and he's very active in heaven too. But what he does for you, it kind of just ends up kind of happening and flowing and opening up. Opportunities open up. It's a really neat thing to be in touch with. So it was actually just like the woman that I mentioned who she didn't even know. It wasn't like she was going to her friend to find this apartment. She was just having lunch with her friend. And her friend told her about this, and it all unfolded kind of miraculously. That's Kala Bhairava. But today, if you don't actually make it all the way into that timeless place, he will give you an insight. He will give you a breakthrough. And Kala Bhairava can give ideas and insights which lead you into the right direction and open up an area that you've never thought of. So many times we have to go in steps, right? We have to build our faith. We have to build that belief. We have to build that excitement in order to have the energy go up and make us timeless. And that's something that's really great because it builds our character. It actually builds our spiritual character too. So building is not such a bad thing. And I've certainly enjoyed all my trips of building, and I know many of you have as well. So both Dr. Pillai and Kala Bhairava are very practical. And Dr. Pillai has a teaching that he says waiting is a waste of time. And he also says, has gave the teaching that you choose not to make money every day. So that's kind of confusing, right? Like I want money, so why would I choose not to make money? But how you can actually get into making money is wanting to make money. That's all Dr. Pillai is really saying. He's saying shift your attitude to money actually could come today. And I want money to come today. So it comes from the wanting. It comes from really wanting it. And it doesn't have to be just money. It can be anything. It can be an apartment. It can be a house. It can be a healing with a relationship. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. You just have to really want that to happen. And you have to dig deep and ask yourself, do I have utter positivity around this thing about receiving money? I'm going to use money as the example. Do I have utter positivity about receiving money today? Does that make me really joyful to have that? And if you find a slightly uncomfortable feeling, it doesn't mean that you run away and say, my karma is bad and I'll never get that. That's wrong. You go into it and you ask Bhairava, Bhairava, I need this thing and I really want it. I really want to want it. Can you make me want it? And this kind of wanting, like I said, it brings the utter positivity. It's Dr. Pillai's definition for faith. It brings faith into your being, which makes many things possible. And as I mentioned, you have to build to that level sometimes. So today we're going to do a workshop. And if you need, I want to just mention this, if you need something urgently, then you start to really want it, right? Like if I need something urgently, I will be like, oh my God, I really, you're focused on it. You're like, I really need that to happen in my life. And to get to that wanting, today, we're going to set an intention for today. So urgency, today, creation. These are the things we're going to work on because that's going to trick your ego. So your ego's kind of like, I know about this thing I need. It's been going on for days or months, whatever it may be, or even years. So yeah, it's there. I'm kind of tired of it, but I still need it. So what happens is by saying today's the day. Now, today's the day. That now what happens is Kala Bhairava springs into action. You start to get in connection with him, and it also tricks your ego into like, oh my God, this is urgent. Oh my God, we need this now. So it makes Kala Bhairava also really happy And as I mentioned, it will move him by having an intention that respects time today. And it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter how many hours you have left in the day. This is an ongoing practice you can do after today, and you can do it first thing in the morning, and I'll review a little bit at that at the end. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to ask you to think of something you want to happen today, and you're going to have a piece of paper. Doesn't matter, what kind of paper, and a pen. And this should be something that makes you, I'm getting mine ready now. It should be something that makes you happy. And it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily money. It could be anything. It could be getting good news about a meeting that you attended, or it could be something for someone else. It could be, I want my partner, my spouse to get an interview, really good job, in this location, or, it could be something like that. It could be that you get an insight on how you can be healed, or how a parent of yours could experience a healing. So it could be anything. And we're going to work with that for today. And it could be money too. So it will be a breakthrough, and it will be an insight, and you'll definitely receive something from Kala Bhairava today, because today is a day where the time Shaktis, where the Pangchang, which is the time, he rules time, right? So he also rules the energy around time. And it's a good day for him. Sunday is generally a really good day for Kala Bhairava and Swarna Bhairava. So take a piece of paper, about 2 to 3 inches, small piece of paper, and think of that one thing that could happen today that would make you really happy, and condense it down to 3 to 6 words. So you want to kind of be, more short. You don't want to write a long sentence. You just want to write something that is meaningful to you. Like, let's say it's you want to solve a relationship problem. You could just say resolve a relationship problem, or parents' health resolved, or receive good news. Receive good news, and in your mind you might think it's a meeting, or maybe there's something else that you're going to get good news about today. Or today I'm receiving money, out of the blue. I may not have any reason to receive money, but I'm going to receive money. So that's another thing that you could put. So I'm going to write mine here. It's going to take me about 5 seconds because I know already. Okay. And then we're going to take that piece of paper, and we're going to place it in the right palm of our hand with the message facing upward, like this. And I'm going to also lift my left palm, because you're in receiving mode, and God can fill your palms with love, with gold, with diamonds, and we're talking to the God who's actually in charge of gold. So this is a beautiful opportunity to be in receiving mode. And we're going to call on Kala Bhairava. I'm going to call on him 8 times. It's a quick meditation, and he's going to activate your spine, or your Sushumna. 4 times I'm going to say his name, Kala Bhairava, and the energy will start at the base of the spine, and it will go up to your 3rd eye. And then 4 times, a total of 8 times, I will focus on the 3rd eye and say his mantra, his name, Kala Bhairava, and then focus on the 3rd eye. You're also welcome to join me in saying the mantra, so that also can enhance your experience. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Start at the base of the spine, your coccygeal. By the time I'm finished with Namaha, you should be at your 3rd eye. And if you feel the inclination to take it above, you certainly can, into your crown and higher. Om Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Start again at the base of your spine. Kala Bhairava Namaha. Base of the spine. Kala Bhairava Namaha. Kala Bhairava Namaha. Third eye. And you can find your third eye if you want to just focus on the center of your forehead, just about an inch above your eyebrows. That's a perfectly powerful place to focus. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, Kala Bhairava. Thank you, Kala Bhairava. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can put your piece of paper down. And now we're going to work on the second piece of paper, which is a little bit different. It's your second prayer. I want you to think of something that you want in the future, whether it's a new job, a new house, a new car, opening your third eye. It can be anything. The beautiful thing about Bhairava is he's not compartmentalized. He is profound in the fact that he covers everything. He is able to help us with everything. And like I said, because now he's so active here on the earth plane, partially because of his birthday, but partially because this is the time when we're shifting into a new age. And he's responsible for that too. So he's very, very active. So I want you to pick up the second piece of paper. And I want you to write something that you anticipate getting in the future. It could be next month, 2 months, next year, 2 years, whatever it calls to you. Whatever the first idea that comes to you is probably the most, it's the one that's most truthful for you. So go ahead and put that down. And I'm writing mine. Now, what I want you to do is choose a logical date for this to happen. It's not one that, is going to be that miracle date yet. It's the one that is reasonable. The one that you think, okay, I could buy that house. You've probably been planning whatever you've written down, right? I could, maybe in a year I'll have the money to do that, or it's the date in your mind. Don't write it down, just keep it in your mind. That's logical. It's logical for this to happen then. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of paper, and you can let that logical date go, by the way. You just think of it once and then let it go. And we're going to do the same process where we put in our right hand and keep our left hand raised. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask Kala Bhairava to give us a sooner date. Make it fast, make it sooner. So we're going to do the same meditation, and we'll make a prayer to him at the end to give us a sooner date. Okay, so go ahead and place your hands up. Close your eyes. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 4 times, so starting at the base of the spine. Om Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairava Namaha. Kala Bhairava Namaha. Now at the third eye. Om Kala Bhairava Namaha. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Kala Bhairava. Come to everyone who's listening to this call now and in the future and give them a sooner date, a date that comes from heaven, a date that comes from you, and then empower them to make that sooner date effortlessly, whatever that may mean, but effortlessly. Thank you, Kala Bhairava. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay, now, what you want to do with this paper, you have it here, and you can burn it if you wish to, or you can keep it on your desk so that you are wherever, someplace around you that you can see, and then you can have that in your mind. You can also do this, and I'm doing this presentation today so that this is a practice that you can do every day. So in the morning, you get up and you shower, you light a candle, and you say Kala Bhairava's mantra. Then you ask him, Kala Bhairava, I really want this thing to happen. And also, maybe you have another idea for me. Maybe there's something you can see it's in my timeline, that's in my karma to happen. Please, Kala Bhairava, can you bless me to make the most of my day, to make the most of this time today? And then speak to him in a very honest way. He responds really quickly if you are self-aware about the things you need to change, and you can mention those. You can mention your flaws. He sees everything, and he has no judgment at all. In fact, he runs to help you with these things. So the more transparent you are to him, the faster you're going to bring him. So you can tell him your flaws. I've had numerous miracles. I had a miracle of a week ago doing this very same thing where I just sat down and I said, I have trouble with focus, Kala Bhairava, and I know you can help me with focus, and I need focus right now. And my God, he put me in front of my computer for hours straight and with incredible brain power to complete what I needed to complete. So he really, really works. And if you especially are honest. And lastly, thank him. Thank him. It's really important to thank him. And there's a couple of reasons, or probably just one main reason. One is you're showing your gratitude to the God to say, thank you for paying attention to me. And thank you for intervening in my life. Like that's a pretty big thing. And I'm really, really grateful for that. So thank you. The other thing I feel that gratitude brings is mercy of God. And mercy, Dr. Pillai has recently said, is when the God shows you mercy, or the goddess shows you mercy, or divine being shows you mercy, or guru shows you mercy, everything can happen for you. You can manifest anything. So I feel that when you're putting your thanks to him and you speak it out loud, and you give your gratitude, they really hear you. He really hears you, and he responds. Okay, so that is what I had for today for our quick practice. And if you want to, as Jay Radha explained in the beginning part, we have Kala Bhairava's birthdays on Friday. Kind of spends Friday and Saturday depending where you are in the world. And Dr. Pillai has specifically given some topics that should be covered on that, and he's empowered that and energized these topics and these teachings for Kala Bhairava. And so we'll be having Kala Bhairava Jayanti, which will be about an hour webinar, and there'll be some really cool set of secrets that come forth that help you to open up to Kala Bhairava and help him come to you. These secrets are sort of very powerful ways to connect with him and put your prayer forth so that he can come and work in your life. And as I mentioned, he's very active. He's very active here now because of his birthday, but he's very active in the earth plane in general. So it's an awesome time. It's a fantastic day to call upon him and have him stay with you every day. You don't have to call on him and then let it go. He can be with you constantly. I know several people who say, I feel Kala Bhairava around me all the time, and I feel completely taken care of, and everything in my life has been happening miraculously. And this has just started happening like in the last 2 weeks for these people. And I can attest to the same when I'm in my Kala Bhairava mode. So I invite you to join us, and I think we're going to show you a little bit about what the Kala Bhairava birthday is also all about. So Radha, can you put the page up? Okay. So we have some savings, and they end tomorrow. So it's early bird savings. Kala Bhairava is all about time, and it gives you, I think, some pretty good time savings or pretty good money savings off of that Kala Bhairava Jayanti. Now, during this webinar, we're going to talk about some very specific topics, and these are things that he is particularly powerful at helping resolve in your life. And one is mastering time, so time management, of course, creating things in your life. So he is, and as I said, he works really fast, like really fast. So he can come and do whatever you pray to him sincerely for. And also courage. So he's also known to be the god to dispel fear. So he will get rid of fear. And Dr. Pillai has recently said that fear is at the origin of all of our problems. If we had no fear, we would have no problems. So that's kind of cool. So he will go in and he will literally take you, just like he did that gentleman, the podcaster I told you about, who said that, he's always had some self-doubts, and now, the life is coming at him and great, beautiful things are happening to him faster than ever. And he's able to capably handle this speed. So this is Kala Bhairava. He will never leave you out there. He will definitely give you that fearless attitude. So he activates speed consciousness and procrastination. This is something I personally also have had an experience with. And he will remove procrastination and help you to do whatever you need to do now. This speed consciousness isn't that your mind races, by the way, and it doesn't, there's not a lot of traffic or energy around. It's basically speed consciousness means that you can move to your goal very fast. Like, that is how the yogis actually define time, is from the time, it's the interval when you have an idea and when that manifestation happens. They say that is time. So that's the most precise definition of time. So he can collapse and compress that time so that when you have an idea or a thought, it could happen that day, the next day, that week, maybe that month, whatever it is, but it will compress the time. He awakens timeless awareness and knows what task or project is most productive for you to focus on. Definitely. He will help you weed out those projects or those tasks or things that you're putting your attention on that aren't going to reap any rewards. He will help you put those aside and will find the right thing for you to do. And whether could also be that you just haven't had the time, like you're working on, your full day is tied up with, work or other things. And by the time you kind of get to that project that really excites you, that divine project, someone called it, then you're tired. And this is where he can help you so much. So he can cut that time back so you don't have time wasted in tasks that don't really call to your heart or call to your mind. So he can help you with that. master space and energy, talked a little bit about that. Dr. Pillai said on one of his webinars that one of his actually YouTubes, you might have heard it online, that the reason he picks a travel date, and he often will change it, but when he actually decides to travel, it is the perfect time. There, everything is aligned. The trip goes smoothly. It's actually a productive trip. He gets what he wants done. So it's not just the travel time, it's that sets up the entire energy of wherever you're going. And it could be going to the doctors, right? When's the best day? Kala Bhairava, tell me the best day where I could go see my doctor with this problem, so that he can help you choose that date. He makes you courageous and diffuses the fear that stops your projects. So anything that you really want to happen, if particularly like it's something that's a need, then sometimes we have some fear behind it. What if it doesn't happen? He will take that, what if it doesn't happen, all that stuff, and put it to the side. And this is something I've had first-hand experience with him in the past several days. So that's the end of my presentation on Kala Bhairava, and I really, really hope you all join for Kala Bhairava Jayanti, his birthday, on Friday night. Jay Radha, do you have anything else, anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, not me, but I would like to know a little bit more about what you will be doing during the session. We have it up here on the page right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give these teachings that I said that are really precious teachings. There's a siddha that Babaji, Dr. Pillai, has been in touch with, who has given many, many secrets about Kala Bhairava. He recognized his potency and his power, and particularly for this time. So a lot of what is going to be given, guided, and what I'll be teaching on will be those secrets about Kala Bhairava and how you can relate to time. So time can seem a little vague, a little you can't quite grasp it, and it's because it's so profound and it's hard to even define. But we're going to give you some really powerful techniques that allow you to kind of weave yourself into time and understand what time really means, and also be able to manipulate it and speed it up so that you're able to accomplish more. And also the very high thing, which is, of course, the Ananda of Kala Bhairava, which is his third eye. But mostly on this webcast, and we likely will have more. There's been more commissioned, so we're just putting everything together here. But on this webcast, we're going to go into that really kind of compressing time and understanding time, and being able to reach our goals faster. There will be a new Kala Bhairava mantra that we'll be giving, and that came from the Siddha. And a divine communication will be coming through the group Fire Lab. So for me, this is when I receive the most intuitive messaging from Kala Bhairava. Sometimes it will happen out of the blue. If I'm doing something, all of a sudden I'll get an intuition, I'll get a message, but it's mostly during the Fire Labs. And since this is a group one, it's a little different, but individual ones definitely have a lot of potency and a lot of communication. But we'll definitely, whatever group message comes, that will be shared. And he really responds to fire. That's the number one. Fire Lab is the number one ritual to do for Kala Bhairava. So we're going to do a very powerful communication Kala Bhairava Fire Lab, and that will help you be in communication with him, perhaps hear his messages in either auditorily, or you may, get a good idea or something. Some communication definitely will happen on that Fire Lab. So of course it will be a very high experience with him, but also there's that benefit that we're creating and designing it such that there'll be some communication facilitated in between.
Perfect. That's amazing. And as you mentioned, the early enrollment ends tomorrow. So a little over a day, folks, if you're interested in joining Swarna Bhairavi for this very special session, commissioned by Dr. Pillai with empowerments and wisdom and mantras from this very special Siddha. So that, and during the most powerful time of the entire year to connect with him. So that link is below the video, also in chat if you're interested. And if you have any questions about the session on Kala Bhairava's birthday, just post and let us know. I also want to mention, I think you've been working on a coaching program, haven't you? You want to tell us a little bit about that? I know more is to come on that, but there
Yeah,
is a personal coaching program in the works with you.
yeah, that also is very close to my heart, and we've been working pretty closely on the topics, and it's like a coaching teaching program that's going to also reveal a lot of secrets around how to get in touch with Kala Bhairava and to have him effortlessly in your life. It's not like you have to spend hours in sadhana or meditation, but how to just have him with you. And it's a 3 to 5 month coaching program, and it's going to be super exciting. There's some really interesting, powerful meditations and mantras and in communions, empowerments with him, as well as, of course, the fire labs and the messaging and the divine communication. And there's one thing that is kind of cool. There's a meditation in there that takes you to the Akash. So you can go into the Akashic records and work with your Akashic records, which is your future and based on kind of your soul, and help you kind of expedite some things, whatever it may be. Like I said, material and spiritual, both of these things are fully under his domain. So it can be anything like that. So that's what we have.
Great. Thank you very much. Looks like there aren't any questions, so everything was very clear and kind of allowing folks to navigate this whole workshop as well as the importance of Kala Bhairava's birthday. So I think I just want to thank you for such a wonderful, I did it along with you, a wonderful exercise. And folks, you have this, you can do this ongoing. And then we do hope to see you on Kala Bhairava's birthday, which is next Friday. So happening very soon. And the early bird ends on November 18th. And Kala Bhairava's birthday is on November 23rd. So we'll see you at 7:30 p.m. I'm sorry, it's November 22nd, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and then that translates to IST, November 23rd, 7:30 p.m. So thank you very much.
Okay. Namaste. Thank you.